Hello everybody, it's Bourbon Bill, and tonight, a very special episode. We're doing a deep dive into one of my favorite age-stated products that's been released for the past 4 years. It's Jack Daniel's 10-year batch number 4, or Quattro for my Spanish viewers. Now, this isn't deja vu. I did do a different video, I'll link it above. I did the 10, the 12, and the 14 year from 2025. Did a sample review that Cam from Drums and Drams sent me, so thank you again, Cam, for that. So go watch that video if you want to compare them all together. This tonight is a deep dive into the 10. So MSRP is around $80 to $90 hairs in that range for this 10-year product. It's still 97 proof. Compute, 48.5% alcohol by volume. And that's right, you heard me correct. 2025 release is batch number 4. They did change up the label just a little bit. The batch number is now more prominent. Right there by the finger, right in the front, batch number 4. And they took off the wording they used to have on the back. And there's number 4 again. So that's kind of cool. The back just says, one in a series of hand-selected batches delivering a rare taste of Jack. The description used to be a little more eloquent on the back of batch 3 from last year. You know, it used to say, whiskey through Tennessee summers or something like that. But I guess I got rid of that because, you know, they're doing an age series now, right? There's 12s. I don't have any 14s. And those are the old 12s. So I have been able to procure just a bottle of the 10. So guys, help me out, or 12 or 14. 12 batch 3 from this year, and obviously 14 is only batch 1. So, and can we say, look at the damn color on that. I mean, look, it's 97 proof, and the color is so dark, even through the light. A lot of you are going to be like, Bourbon Bill, that the 10's a goddamn consolation prize. You know, I couldn't get a 12 or a 14. Look, yes, the 12 and a 14 you might consider better. I mean, I do. But the 10 is no consolation prize. It's not for losers. Okay? God damn, does that smell good. I mean, it's just barrel char for days, caramel. A faint hint of banana here, but it's really not a star of anything. I almost get like a little red fruit. It's like smoky barrel char. Wants to have red fruit. Banana creme brulee. That's the best I can come up with. It smells phenomenal. Phenomenal nose. Down the hatches. God, so good. Oh my God. So good. I get a nice, like, weird to say, like vanilla custard mixed in there, but again, we get the banana, but the predominant note on the show here, guys, is barrel char. 4 days. It's like you cracked open the barrel and you just lick the wet barrel char. But it's kind of sweet. Like it's not sweet tasting, if you will, but it's not like dry and tannicky, if that's what you're taking away from it. But there's a nice little, like, subtle, smoky barrel char flavor to this. And it's phenomenal. Gotta say we dig it. Bourbon Bill's rating, A++, absolute buy. Again, maybe this didn't tell you a lot compared to the larger video I did, but I wanted to highlight just the bottle. But now, what we will do differently is compare it to last year's. So here is the infamous batch 3, or 3 of Jack Daniel's, which was a 2024 release. This, I'm not even going to say arguably, it was the best JD10 to ever be released. Up until maybe now. This is my first time comparing the batch 4 to last year's batch 3. Last year's batch 3, on a given day, could have beat the 12. That's how good the batch 3 was last year of the JD10. You know, it's the same proof, still 97 proof, same 700 ml bottle they've had now for a few years. In fact, the only 750 they ever did of the age dated was the very first batch 1. JD10 was 750. The rest of them, everything, the 12s, I think have all been 700. Let's find out together if batch 4 improves on batch 3 or is a step back. Could be, we don't know. Even though it was delicious, is it worse than last year's? Ooh, these corks always squeak like a stuck pig. All right, we're gonna put it in a clear just because I want to see if there's any color difference. Batch 3, batch 4. No discernible color difference. I don't know what I was going for there. All right, batch 3 of the JD10 last year's. Is it better? Let's give it a nosing. Oh, there is a heavier oak presence here that just wasn't coming out in the 4. Now, I just did crack the 4 tonight, but I did let it sit for like an hour before I tasted it. So I really let it air. I really let it breathe. Uncovered, by the way, just out in the open. All right, again on the nose of the 3, batch 3. I mean, this is all caramel, like brown sugar, but like a heavy oak. Heavy oak's what we're getting here, like a nice aged oak on this. Man, is that phenomenal. The barrel char note's there, but it's kind of subdued. Okay, back to the 4. Oh, the 4 smells sweeter, and the barrel char note, like smoky barrel char note, is heavier on 4, but the oak note is dialed up on the 3. So it's kind of a toss-up to which nose I like better. I have to say that the batch 3 smells older than the batch 4. All right, batch 3 down the hatches. Good heavens, that's delicious. It's a game of oak. Batch 3 has got a lot of sweet oak on it. A little bit of tobacco. Some barrel char there, but it is predominantly oak. Yeah, batch 4 goes for the barrel char. It comes off sweeter, but it just, to me, it's missing all the oak of the 3. For me, the winner is batch 3 from 2024. I don't think the 2025 batch 4 is as good, but that's because I like a lot of oak. I think if you're someone that really gravitates towards like the barrel char, there's some banana, you know, it's sweeter. Batch 4 is sweeter. So if you're a Buffalo Trace kind of guy, you're gonna like batch 4 better, right? Because let's face it, you don't like oak. If you like Buffalo Trace, you like sweet grape juice, cherry cola type bullshit, and Jack Daniel's batch 4 is sweeter. That's gonna be for you. If you like Heaven Hill or Beam products, which tend to be oakier, batch 3 is gonna be for you. Okay, if you're debating between a batch 3 JD10, maybe you found a leftover from last year, or the new batch 4, that's how they split out. For me, I really appreciate the oak. I think batch 3 is better for my palate. However, batch 4 ain't no slouch. Batch 4, again, this was a neck pour, but I did let it sit out for an hour, so I feel like it could develop to be better as the year goes on, and we'll find out because it'll compete in Bourbon of the Year. But again, at the end of the day, this is still damn delicious and does receive an A++ rating from Bourbon Bill, a must buy. So if all you can find is the JD10, you can't find a 12, can't find a 14, you feel sad about it, don't feel like you got a consolation prize. Okay, folks? You still got one of the best products that Jack Daniel's puts out. So, stop hating on the 10-year because of its a little bit lower proof, or, oh, it ain't a 12 or 14. The 10 is a delicious product on its own. On its own, it's a delicious product. It is cheaper than those offerings. They probably produce more of them, right? Because they proof them down. And these are killer. And if you like the little bit of nuances, you can get each one from each year. They're always a little bit different, to be honest. Batch 1 through batch 4 has swung in different directions. Batch 3 just hits me better, right in my sweet spot. But batch 4 is singing to me because I just enjoy the barrel char on it. So even though it didn't win tonight, don't take away from that and go, well, I'm not going to fucking get one. No, I mean, look, if you got like 3 batch 3s lined up, then maybe you don't need it, okay? But if you're getting low on your batch 3, you didn't get one, get a batch 4. You ain't gonna be disappointed, all right? And again, don't let those bullies who got the 12 and the 14 make you feel like a smaller man because you didn't get it. You got a delicious bottle, and that's the name of the game. And you probably didn't pay a mortgage payment to get it, because even on secondary, you can get that son of a bitch real cheap. One final comparison, just a Jack Daniel's barrel proof single barrel. This happens to be a Costco pick. And now, so shelfers of these are generally $68.99, $69 somewhere in there. But this beauty, tax-free in Delaware, $53 hairs from Costco. So it's a pick. Although I don't know. Do you guys think Costco sent anybody to really? I doubt it. We're gonna see how this monster lines up to the JD10 Batch 4, because that's what we're in 2025. That's what we care about. Proof on this bad boy is 127.4. Compute 63.7%. Alcohol by volume. Age on this we don't know, but probably 6 to 7. That's my guess. Color comparison. Oh, what's that? JD10 at 97 is darker. I don't know if you can see that. So that's a good sign for JD10. And hey, again, these aren't quite half price, but let's call them $70 hairs. 70. $20 hairs more and that's you a JD10. MSRP to MSRP wise, right? Big proof difference, though. Okay. The Costco Jack Daniel's single barrel proof pick on the nose. Got some barrel char as well. Does smell younger. It's not as deep and rich, right? Has almost no traces of oak. JD10 Batch 4. Oh, God. Way better nose. I mean, it's what I wish the nose was on this. Like, this smells younger. That's not a knock against this. It's delicious. It's one of my staples, if you will. Must have, must buys, shelf staples that you don't have to hunt for, right? So, but the JD10 smells better, even though it's a lot less proof. There's more banana bread on this one. So I feel like Jack Daniel's tends to have banana that like increases as the age decreases, if that makes sense. As the age goes up, they tend to lose the banana and it becomes not a prominent note. There's more banana on this than the JD10. All right, down the hatch. Whoo, she's spicy. Ultimately delicious, but it's like banana bread, caramel, a little bit of barrel char is the flavor profile. Delicious stuff. Again, absolute buy on its own right. But now, how does that compare to the JD10 Batch 4? Yeah. Oh, the flavors are so rich on the 10. Barrel char is dialed up. Caramels are dialed up. I mean, it tastes older. It doesn't feel thinner on the palate than the barrel proof. You know what I mean? I mean, it's got almost an equally as long finish. It's not as spicy. You know, what can you say? So, I think the JD10 Batch 4 is better than, we'll say, your average Jack Daniel's barrel proof on the shelf. It certainly is older, certainly is darker, just not as high proof. So if you're just after the burn, maybe you don't feel that way, but a discerning Jack gentleman like myself does appreciate the age that the JD10 brings to the party. So hopefully that places it into context for you. Remember, it's only about $20 hairs more than a Jack Daniel's single barrel proof at MSRP. And if you're going to find any of them at MSRP, you're probably going to find the 10. Now, if you like this all night, please like, comment, subscribe, consider joining Patreon. Have a good evening, everybody.